Okay, hello. Um, just to add on to what he said, okay, we know about the great civilization. We know about Egypt, and the Nile Valley civilization, how it started. Of course, as the cradle, as I say, is from East Africa, but it all started like from the Lake Victoria, which is the source of the Nile, and the great civilization has grown through the Nile Valley. So you can say there's a lot they have to do. I mean, they contributed to the development of the world and teaching the history and everything we know that we have today. And also one thing I learned recently is about when people talk about astronomy and all these things. But the oldest telescope, I didn't know, but the lake is missing here. We have a lake here called Lake Turkana. Yeah, somewhere there. The oldest telescope actually was located there. Yeah, where they could actually see the stars and know astronomy. I know. As they say, what happens on heaven happens on earth. So they can study the sky, the astronomy, and predict what will happen here. Okay, I will not go to that. So I will just talk briefly. I was in Kenya, when is it, in July, August. So I just left before the Global Peace Festival started. Actually, how I came to know about the Global Peace, I was staying somewhere in Ruiru, somewhere in the central province. So as I was driving across and I just saw a big banner, Global Peace Festival. I just told my husband, look, there is Global Peace Festival. I didn't know because they had a big banner like advertising the Global Peace Festival. I think I got the number from there, then I got in touch with them because they were doing a big activity. They were cleaning Nairobi River. If you know, Nairobi River is very filthy. It's such a disgrace. So they did a big job to take people and clean the river, which was a good promotional. They were doing a promotional event. Yeah, and one thing we were talking about, because I went there just immediately after the elections. We know the elections, what happened in December. Yeah, where we had the elections, the presidential elections, yes. And after what happened, there was all these riots. But what happened with the riots is something that has been in Kenya for a long time because we are on tribal lines. As we wanted this map, we have different provinces. We have 8 provinces in total. But we have this tribal thing which is so much into us. Okay, the main tribes, you have the Luos and the Kikuyus. Those are the main big tribes, and those were the ones that were fighting each other. So, of course, we have the Kalenjins. So the Luos are mainly on this side. The Kikuyus are mainly here. The Kalenjins. So most of the problems were mainly in this part of Kenya. So with my experience, because I was hearing all this when I was here, I'm told this fighting, what I didn't even know I was going to go there. So when I went, I'm from Luo, I'm a Luo, so I'm from the Odinga tribe. So we are from this side. But I actually lived in the Kikuyu area, so I was in the opposition. So you're really not, because I was staying with my sister, so you can see what people on the ground were saying. So most people, you say the common person did not like it because they were killing each other, killing people you've been living with for a long time, your neighbors. But just because this is politics, is happening, maybe the leaders are having problem or somebody told them, go kill each other. But the killing was mainly, there's more, something deeper. It's not only that, also there's this thing of poverty. Because we have many people there who have no jobs, who have nothing to do, they have nothing to lose. Yeah, so if they're given a little money or they're told to go and do something, they will just go straight on because, poverty can bring so many things. Yeah, and then it brings enmity. So things got worse and worse because you see this, because we always talk on tribal lines. You belong in this tribe, I belong in this tribe, we don't work together. And then when I travel, because I travel across, so you can see division. As you travel, you see houses that have been burnt, which is really sad. You can see a whole village is flat, it's all black there. And people are still living in like refugees, in sheds, in just temporary accommodation. And maybe these are people who are living in the wrong places. There are Luos who are living in the Kikuyu area. So around Molo, this area was really bad because you have Luos or you're just from a different tribe. As long as you're not of my tribe, I will just burn your house. At night, like my sister, because he lived in the Kikuyu area, so they could be targeted. She's a Luo. So some had to leave everything and go back home because they could just come at night and torture you, just the mere fact you're from a different tribe. Yeah, so it was really happening, and it was really bad. But what was happening with the politicians? The politicians, they just talk and say things are very nice and we are going to work it out. But one thing I don't like about politicians, they're there for themselves. Yeah, they want the votes. They will come to you, they say, we are going to do this, 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 and then they go there. All this time when many people lost their jobs, many people lost their homes, they have nothing to eat, but politicians were going to parliament and they were being paid their money for not doing anything. So the common man was really suffering. So what we're talking is about reconciliation. How are we going to solve that problem of tribalism? We are different tribes. We are all the same people. Maybe we are all originally from the same family. Yeah, how can we solve it? How can we remove this issue of tribalism and live together? Because it will take time. Now, even when I talk to people, they say it might even end up we have to divide the country, yeah, so that this tribe and the other one stay on the other side, so we can have a division, yeah, maybe up to that, this is one country and that is the other. So it's going to that extreme, yeah, so it is something which we really have to work and try to avoid. Yeah, so it will take time. And I don't think politicians are going to solve it. It's a common man. You just talk and say, it doesn't matter which tribe you are, but we can work together. We want peace. Yeah, we want to have our jobs. We want to eat. We want our children to live wherever we are, because Kenya is for everybody. You can live whichever place you choose. You cannot be confined. You can't be put a prisoner in your country. So that thing is still ingrained, and I think it will take time. So I think when we have forums like this, we can have solution and try to tell people how it is difficult, how. Because you're born with a certain tribe, you belong to this, and you're brought up, hate that people, those people are different from you. How will you stop it? So that is really a big problem which the politicians have to do. Yeah, so, and then apart from that, I think there's also a thing about health. We have AIDS, which is really a big problem. Because we talk about it, but it is there. Yeah, because you can talk to the family, you can find, and they say now when you go to Kenya, don't ask about somebody. Don't say, how is so-and-so? Because you might not, yes. So when you meet somebody, just say, oh, how are you, this, but don't say, how is so-and-so? Because most likely you don't want to get the message, yeah? So it is very rampant. It is there in children. It is, many people have it. So everybody, every other person has been affected. Yeah, so it is really bad. Although now, the good thing, the government has made it free. All the drugs are free. You can access the drugs free. You don't have to pay, which is good. But there's still stigma. Some people will not access the free drugs. Because of what? Stigma. If I go and my friend sees me, what will they talk? What will they say? Yeah, so they are not accessing the free drug. Yeah, which is crazy. And I've been told stories because of that stigma. People are dying. Either they don't have food or they just commit suicide. You know, once the disease because they're scared to go and access the free drugs. And then they get so stressed. So many people are just dying. So it is really a big problem, which also we have to solve. So I hope as we go on, we are going to solve or come with solutions into all these things. Yeah, but despite what the politics is saying, we have a coalition government, things are fine. Down in the ground, there's no peace. I mean, people have trouble there. So I hope as we go on and as we hear the speech, you can come up with a few solutions. Okay. Thank you.